Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. This episode is about understanding the narcissist's desire for constant manufactured conflict. Now, the onus is on that word, manufactured, because they will create conflict out of nothing. Why do they do this? Why is it that an argument can start out of nothing and you don't even know how the argument began, but you find yourself drawn in to that word salad where you end up defending yourself, possibly against something that they perceived you did wrong 20 years ago. Why does the narcissist always need to fight with you? Well, to begin with, we need to understand that the narcissist needs narcissistic supply. That is their fuel. That is like oxygen is to you and I. Without narcissistic supply, they fall in a heap. They become an anxious wreck, and they are really like a shark swimming around endlessly, who never sleeps, who is on the constant lookout for food. That's what it's like for them in their quest for narcissistic supply. So narcissistic supply is their energy. It is what props up their ego. It sustains that false self that they spend an entire lifetime manufacturing, so that people believe that they are that grandiose, charismatic persona that they portray themselves as to the world, whether they are an overt narcissist or a covert narcissist. Narcissistic supply comes in the form of attention. Now, that attention can be either positive or negative. It matters not to the narcissist as long as they are inside your head and you are reacting to them. If you are reacting, then you are inadvertently telling them that that mask they wear is real. If you're not reacting, then they have to turn inwards and perhaps face that shame-ridden, vulnerable and weak true self that they try so hard to mask. So once the narcissist has you hooked into that cycle of abuse where they are able to relieve the horrible symptoms, the residual effects, the pain of their abuse, they provide relief from those abusive times with the breadcrumbs of being nice. And when the lows are so low, they are rock bottom, then those breadcrumbs appear like gold. They're like rainbows and puppy dogs' tails, simply because of the stark contrast between the good times and the bad. Now, if you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, you will know that any time there was just peace and harmony, things that you should just take for granted in a normal, healthy relationship, they would attempt to destroy it. Why do they do this? Because when there's no focus on them. And of course, when you're happy, it makes them agitated because they can't feel that genuine happiness that you feel yourself. So when there is nothing going on and there is just peace, they will create conflict out of nothing. So in their quest to destroy that mundaneness of everyday life when people around them are simply content, they will manufacture an argument to get that narcissistic supply, to feel alive. In other words, narcissists will create conflict simply because they are bored. Now, incidentally, the narcissist's ability to start an argument out of nothing can be really confusing for victims because they hear the narcissist bang on all the time about hating drama, and yet drama seems to follow them everywhere. It's non-stop drama when you are in a relationship with a narcissist. So let's look at some of the ways, the strategies that the narcissist engages to begin this conflict and to create this confusion in their victim's mind. So let's look at some examples of how the narcissist begins these senseless fights and how they begin them. Okay, you are sitting down watching a television program together. You are under the impression that you're both enjoying it. You're wrapped up in the characters and the storyline, and all of a sudden the narcissist says something like this: "Why are we watching this show? Why are we always watching the shows that you like? You know that I prefer to watch a drama rather than a romantic, boring comedy like this. Why is it all about you?" Or maybe you're sitting down to a meal together. It's one of the meals that you know the narcissist likes, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they say something like, "Why are we always having this? It's just boring having the same meal over and over again. Why is it all about you again? And why do you never think of my needs and cooking something different for a change?" In both of these examples, the attack came from nowhere. You were enjoying yourselves, or so you thought. There was peace, and all of a sudden you're under attack and you haven't done anything wrong. So what is a normal human being going to do when they are attacked for something that is non-existent or just totally unreasonable and inappropriate? They're going to defend themselves. And that is exactly what the narcissist wants. The narcissist wants you as their victim to jade with them. Jade standing for justify, argue, defend, explain, and another E is emotions. They want your emotions. Remembering that when you do all of those things, that makes them feel alive and it kills their boredom. The narcissist is like a chess player when they're beginning these arguments. They know how you are going to react, and they put out just the right bait to get you to elevate in your defense of this unreasonable attack. So in these examples, it might go something like this: "I don't want to watch this show. It's boring. Why is it all about you?" And you, under attack, unreasonably under attack, might say something like, "Well, why did you say you wanted to watch the show. I thought you were enjoying yourself. Why did you not tell me before we started watching this show that you didn't like it and you wanted to watch something else? Because I would have been totally open to that. Or in the other example, you might defend yourself in this way. Well, I thought you liked this meal. I was actually trying to do something nice for you. I actually like cooking other sorts of food, but I was thinking about you. Why are you twisting this into something that it's not? And it's then the narcissist thinks, aha, they've taken the bait, and they begin to confuse you and make your mood and your reactions elevate with something along the lines of, are you accusing me of lying to you? Aren't I entitled to have an opinion? Do you want me to keep my feelings bottled up inside? Why are you attacking me for simply expressing myself? I thought that I had a partner who would allow me to express myself and take my feelings into consideration. But you know what? I guess I thought wrong. So to you as the victim, this response seems absolutely crazy. How did this even begin? And you resent them because you haven't done anything wrong. So you continue to justify why you haven't done anything wrong. You argue with them. You defend yourself. You explain to them why they're wrong, they're unreasonable, and you're right. It's at this time that the narcissist will say things like, well, I'm not going to argue with you. All you want to do is fight, and I'm stopping this right now. And it gives them an excuse to skip out that door, possibly give you the silent treatment for the next 2 weeks. It gives them an excuse to go to a new target for solace, for understanding from someone who sees them as a victim. And all the while you're feeling crazy because you don't even know how this began. Another reason that the narcissist will manufacture conflict is to deflect. Let's say that it's a narcissistic mother or father, and you finally work up the courage to express your feelings about how they treated you as a child and why your confidence and self-esteem as an adult are just non-existent. And you try to express your feelings, and the narcissistic parent says something like, oh my goodness, I can't believe how ungrateful you are. After everything I've done for you, after everything I sacrificed for you, did I not feed you and put a roof over your head? Did I not take you to soccer practice or whatever it is that you were doing? All of the things that really should just be taken for granted from a parent's role. They will flip the script and make you out to be the villain simply for trying to express your feelings and get some accountability and to make them understand why you feel the way you do. So either you argue back, defending yourself, and understandably you're defending yourself because they were a terrible parent and you are the child of a narcissist, which means you were abused. But this toxic parent will deflect from anything you try to make them accountable for because it makes them feel bad about themselves. The toxic parent loves to pull out the crocodile tears at this time. If the argument is getting out of hand and you're not backing off, they know that this is a no-brainer much of the time, because those tears will make you feel bad and they want you to feel guilty because they are your parent and they have conditioned you through fear, obligation, and guilt to respect them. In other words, tolerate their abuse. Or if the narcissist is a partner or a spouse and you're trying to make them take responsibility for their disrespectful behavior, maybe you're out to dinner one night and they're ogling very, very obviously at the waitress or the waiter, if it's a female narcissist, and you call them on them. Here they are, and they're giving the eye in such an obvious way to this person. They are obviously flirting, and it feels disrespectful because it's so obvious, and here you are sitting right next to them while they're doing it. You call them on that behavior, and internally the narcissist yells, bingo, got them, they took the bait, and they proceed to tell you that you're insecure, you're paranoid. Here they are just being nice to this person. And the problem is actually with you for being so petty. So you know this isn't the case. So like any normal human being, you jade with them. You justify, argue, defend, and explain yourself. The narcissist may take it one step further by calling the night to a halt. I'm not taking you out again. You've ruined the night. It was supposed to be a lovely gesture for you, and you have just destroyed it with your need to start an argument and your paranoia and insecurities. We're leaving now. So in all of those examples, the narcissist has not only deflected from the topic that you were wanting to debate with them or discuss with them, they've also avoided accountability for their destructive, manipulative behavior. In the narcissist's twisted world, where black is white and white is black, they are actually very uncomfortable when there is peace. So their need for drama will destroy any type of happiness in your life, or any time when you just appear to be content. A classic example that I was told by one of my clients recently was when they were getting married to the love of their life, and their narcissistic mother, who had created all of this drama in trying to control the wedding and make it all about them, they arrived about an hour late for the ceremony, and they were part of that ceremony. So, of course, the bride-to-be was shattered. She was upset and she was angry. But what happened when she approached the mother, her mother, and tried to make her accountable for ruining the day, which is exactly what happened? The narcissistic mother came up with an excuse around why it was not her fault and that her daughter was being selfish and unreasonable for not taking into account the circumstances that were totally out of control and caused the mother to be late. She actually began an argument on the wedding ceremony, or at the wedding ceremony, around how the daughter, whose day it should have been all about, it was the most important day in her life, she actually engaged conflict with her to ruin her day, and then flipped the blame shifted onto her daughter for being petty and unreasonable. So this example just personifies the attention-seeking narcissist. They ruined their own child's wedding. Why? Because this was a day that was all about someone else, and they needed to draw the focus back on to them. It didn't matter that that was their child. They felt agitated and uncomfortable because no one would be making it all about them, and they had to draw everyone's eyes and ears onto them. There are so many examples I could give you around why the narcissist manufactures conflict out of nothing. Another particularly horrific example is when they want you to leave, when they're ready to discard you, but they want you to be the one who appears to be the bad guy to everyone else, so they can transition into the relationship with the new target they have been grooming and love bombing with the go-ahead from society, who sees that you were the one who left them. And of course, the narcissist will ramp up the abuse towards the end so that your understandable reactions to the escalation in abuse will serve as another reason around why they had to move on so quickly. It's an even bigger win for the narcissist if they are able to get you to react by instigating an argument when other people are around. Of course, they will monitor their own behavior while they passively aggressively bait you, so that onlookers think that you are the crazy one and you are the one that is attacking the narcissist. This feeds into their smear campaign, and people believe them because they saw that you were the one who was elevated. And this can isolate you later on because the people you thought loved you turn against you, and it can make you feel really alone, all because the narcissist manufactured an argument, and they did it in front of an audience so that they would have a support system for them, and you would have no one. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you will know how this crazy making behavior affects you. It literally drives you insane because you can't understand why they can't understand that they're being unreasonable. But guys, please know they know exactly what they are doing. As I said earlier, they are like a chess player, and they're drawing you into making the exact move that will benefit them. There is no winning in this situation with the narcissist because it's nonsensical. It makes no sense, and you can't fix them. The only thing that you can do for your own sanity is to cut them off at the knees from that narcissistic supply, from your reactions, and leave. For those of you who have gotten very good at walking on eggshells, in other words, becoming hyper vigilant to these times, to these attacks, you will know that the narcissist is onto you in terms of upping the ante until you finally do react. In other words, you engage in reactive abuse, and they get their manufactured conflict in the end. The negative supply the narcissist receives from their victim when you engage in the arguments that they have created is potent. It destroys your happiness. That's the goal. If you're going away on a holiday, if you've had some success, if you're just about to go out for a lovely evening with someone else, they will start an argument. So you are thinking about them instead of enjoying yourself. Everything they do is about attention, good or bad. It doesn't matter. It is simply about getting you to react. If someone is doing this to you guys, please know that you are worth so much more. You can't change them. You can't fix them. And the only course of action in regards to someone who treats you this way intentionally is to run. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. I hope you found that episode insightful. If someone is doing this to you and you recognize it, please really try and stop yourself from jading with them. But my preferred advice to you is always to get out. You deserve so much more. Now, if you would like to have a one-on-one counseling session with me online via Zoom, please just see my website link in the description. And of course, don't forget to get your copy of my best-selling book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. And if you would like to support this channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. There's a link there for that too. And of course, sharing is caring. Sharing and reviewing and rating the podcast are all so helpful. On that note, it's bye from me for now. Until tomorrow's episode, remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.